confuse you on that kickoff. They like to confuse the blocking assignments. Very often you'll see some of them running around. Here they come again.
And the kick is headed for Cobb at the 5-yard line. And he slips and falls at the 20-yard line. Homecoming for Vinny Testaverde, the first time he's ever played in the metropolitan area. He grew up in Elmont, Long Island at Sewanaka High School, and he's got that renewed confidence, and we'll see if it pays off. It'll be a first down on the 20 for the Buccaneers. They're going to put Gary Anderson, their top running back, split wide to the right. Robert Wilson is the setback. Now Anderson shifts back. A lot of movement, and Gary Anderson breaks up the middle and picks up a first down for the Bucs. Jeff Lageman making the tackle. And a penalty marker is down, and that will nullify the game. It's against Tampa Bay. The offensive front for the Buccaneers: Paul Gruber, Tom McHale, Tony Mayberry's the center, Ian Beckles the right guard, Rob Taylor, and the tight end is Ron Hall. Anderson and Robert Wilson are the running backs. Mark Carrier and Bruce Hill, a fine duo of receivers. First down and 15. A delay of the game call, and Testaverde puts it up for the first time. Trying to go to his tight end, Ron Hall, and breaking it up was the linebacker, Mo Lewis.
They didn't waste any time in testing the young rookie Lewis, and he was equal to the confrontation.
Lewis is a rookie from the University of Georgia. The defensive line for the Jets: Marvin Washington, Scott Mercereau, Dennis Byrd, and Jeff Lageman. Lewis, the rookie from Georgia. Kyle Clifton and Joe Kelly, the linebackers. And the secondary: Stargell and Hasty, the cornerbacks. Lonnie Young and Brian Washington, the safeties. Second down and 15, and this is a check with me. Testaverde calls it at the line. And his pass is caught by Hill. Bruce Hill, and Hill brings it out, enough for a first down for the Buccaneers.
You saw in that play the kind of problems that the Jets had throughout the last season. They were unable to get the kind of heat on the quarterback that they need. Testaverde, with plenty of time, was able to deliver that pass. Watch Testaverde in the pocket. Now, Byrd is probably the best of the sackers here, but Beckles just nails him. Look how much time he had. They were able to pick up the first down.
Lonnie Young and Joe Kelly on the stop. The ball is at the 32 of Tampa Bay. Wilson, with his first NFL carry, picks up a little more than a yard. And the stop made by Marvin Washington. Richard Williamson, the interim coach who had a 1-2 record, was kind of floating in the breeze while Tampa Bay brought in a lot of candidates, including Bill Walsh and Buddy Ryan. And he got the job anyway, but still the Bill Parcells rumor hangs high.
You really have to like him. But the question I would ask, can nice guys, and he is a nice guy, be tough enough to be good coaches?
That's a good question. Second down and 7. Testaverde's pass is caught by Hill, and he's got another first down as the Bucs inch closer to midfield, a gain of 11 yards. Lonnie Young, the free safety, making the stop. What are the differences offensively with the Buccaneers as they go into a no huddle? One of the things we'll see.
Well, you're going to see them without the huddle. You'll also see them spreading more formations, more motion, less vanilla, as Vinny says. He wants a more exciting offense.
First down on the 40. The pass is nearly intercepted by Lonnie Young. It was thrown behind Bruce Hill. There's one of the changes in the Jets lineup, and a big one, because Lonnie Young took the place of two-time Pro Bowler Eric McMillan.
And this is something that Vinny does sometimes without warning. You wonder where he's throwing that one, right in the face mask of Lonnie Young. Lonnie said, hey, give me a little warning, I'll catch that one.
And there's McMillan.
Well, he is sitting on the sideline for one reason, basically. He was not the hitter that the Jets wanted in that secondary. Lonnie Young will knock your head off.
Second down and 10 on the Bucks 46. On the draw play, Anderson going wide. And knocked out of bounds by Brian Washington. And it'll be enough for another Tampa Bay first down. And this is not an easy game for Gary Anderson today. His 10-month-old daughter, Amanda, died of a respiratory failure less than a week ago. So he's got a heavy heart this afternoon.
He told me earlier that he felt that playing the game would help him get that out of his mind.
Gain of 13, though, for Anderson, and a first down on the Jets 34. Another draw play, Wilson. And a fine run, nearly 8 yards for Robert Wilson, who was picked on the 3rd round, played at Texas A&M. And Mo Lewis and Brian Washington that time on the tackle.
I'm hurrying because they're hurrying out there, Dick, as Testaverde again goes without the huddle. What they're saying is they like the matchup they have. They want to keep the same Jets group on the field. Whoa.
This time Wilson is driven back and loses about 5. Jeff Lageman and Joe Kelly. It was mostly Kelly who came over from the Cincinnati Bengals last year, and Kelly coming off 2 knee operations in the offseason.
Jets have to improve their ability to stop the run. Last year they gave up 4.8 yards a rush. That was last in the NFL. Preseason 3.5 this year.
Pete Carroll, the defensive coordinator. 3rd down and 4. Willie Drury comes in as the extra wide receiver. And Gary Anderson also splits out. Testaverde's pass is caught for the first down inside the 30-yard line. Mark Carrier with his first reception of the year. And making the stop was Lonnie Young, and another first down and another no huddle coming up.
Although there are substitutions moving in on both sides in this situation as Carroll adjusts his people, gets them onto the field.
Ball is at the Jet 26, no score. Encroachment.
Marvin Washington saying, hey, he can't move, and the way he came across the line, I think perhaps Rob Taylor did move, but you got to be very careful.
Encroachment, 97 defense, still first down.
Even if he moves, if the officials don't catch it, the penalty is on you. So that's a risk. The defensive lineman has to be able to figure that the officials have seen the movement. Washington saying, hey, he moved. But it doesn't matter, Marvin, if the officials don't see it, it isn't so.
Marvin Washington comes out, and Darrell Davis, who was an impressive pass rusher in those situations in the rookie year a year ago, is in there. First down now and 5. And the ball is at the 21, and this is the Tampa Bay drive, the 10th play coming up. Inside to Wilson. I tell you, this guy carries some tacklers. Wilson, who's green, but a gutty rookie, gets inside the 20, and Ryan Washington again on the tackle.
What's interesting, he didn't expect to be playing this early. He said, I thought I might get into the game by midseason. Hey, he's into the game right now. He's a fire plug. He's a tough back to handle because he's short, low center of gravity. You really got to wrap him up to get him down.
And an opening day, and a successful one thus far for the rookie, Robert Wilson. Second down and 3 on the 19, and Wilson gets a good hole and dives forward and has a first down for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are engineering a very impressive first drive. Jeff Lageman and Lonnie Young that time.
Watch the left side of your frame. Tom McHale, number 73, going to put a crunching block on right here. Drives his man right across over pursuit. Opened up that hole. And 2 ugly things for the Jets so far on this drive. They're not getting heat on Testaverde, and their run defense is ugly.
First down on the 13. In motion comes Hill. The pitch is to Gary Anderson. He hurdles a defender and is knocked out of bounds at about the 11-yard line. So they picked up a couple. And Mo Lewis and Kyle Clifton in on the play. Of course, we'll see Kyle Clifton often. Richard Williamson's running game for Tampa Bay, really ineffective in preseason, but looking sharp thus far.
I think one of the reasons they've been successful running in this drive is because Testaverde has got the attention of this Jets defense, and they're really playing to stop the pass. That's open room for the run.
Second down and 8. Testaverde trying to go to his tight end, Ron Hall, and that will bring up third down and 8.
You know how they swing a yo-yo down and pull it back? I think Testaverde tried to yo-yo that one back into his hand. He saw the defenders, knew it wasn't a good time to pass, tried to stop, couldn't, but it went incomplete.
Like that old Harlem Globetrotters trick when they're on the free throw.
Yo, bring it back.
Third down and 8. Dennis Byrd.
The best of the pass rushers. Well, he wasn't off on the line on that play, but he used his height and his anticipation. You'll see him in the middle of your screen. Testaverde dropping straight back. Byrd is double teamed. But look at this. Right straight up in the air. Had he not hit that ball, Ron Hall would have had it.
Here it is again. So Tampa Bay, after the impressive drive, has to try to settle for 3. And Steve Christie will try a 29-yard field goal, and the kick is good. Well, Christie connected on 23 of 27 last year. The Buccaneers don't get the touchdown, but they have the lead 3-0.
But the Bucs settling for 3 too often last year. Would love to get to 7. That's something they're going to have to do if they're going to improve the record.
On a 29-yard field goal by Steve Christie.
But they wanted the 7. They're going to have to get more touchdowns and fewer field goals out of that red zone if they're going to improve as a team this year.
Christie will kick off. Back deep for the Jets is Don Boyd Odegaard and Johnny Hector. Out of the end zone. And the Jets will start from the 20-yard line. Ken O'Brien, not much of a quarterback battle in preseason. He's trying to avoid getting sacked. He's been sacked 84 times in the last 2 years. But a more wide open Jets offense. The offensive line, Jeff Criswell, Dave Cadigan, Jim Sweeney, Dwayne White, Herb Eatman, and Mark Boyer, the tight end. Musical chairs, offensive front. Blair Thomas and Brad Baxter, the running backs. Chris Burkett, Corral Toon, and Rob Moore are the wide receivers. First and 10. Brad Baxter to the 25-yard line, picks up 5. Making the tackle was Harry Hamilton. Up front for Tampa Bay, Ray Seals in his first NFL start. Tim Newton, Reuben Davis, and Keith McCants. The big move from linebacker to defensive end. Kevin Murphy, Eugene Marv, and Broderick Thomas are the linebackers. And in the secondary, the corners are Ricky Reynolds and Wayne Haddix, William Frizzell and Harry Hamilton, the safeties. It'll be second down and 5 for the Jets. This time, Blair Thomas. He did a lot of that on his own, and the Jets will have a first down. Thanks to Thomas, Tim Newton makes the tackle.
Bruce Coslett knows that his ace on the field right now is Blair Thomas. Second year back with such fine talents, and he said, hey, you got a horse like that on the field, you give him the football. We're going to see it happen today.
Well, he didn't do that last year as he rotated the backs, and in fact, Thomas averaged only 8 carries a game. He'll get a lot more this year.
Well, he was dinged a lot last year. Held out in camp, and many felt that contributed to those injuries that kept him from being as effective.
The spot is at the 29.
They're going to reset the ball, and it will not be a first down. It looked as if Thomas, and the crowd feels that way, had crossed the 30, but they'll spot it at the 29, so it'll be third down and 1.
Here are the numbers for the Jets running game. Look at the number of players used almost in equal variety. Thomas's numbers bigger because of his carries, but Freeman McNeil and Johnny Hector more in a reserved situation this year to Thomas and Baxter.
Mark Boyer and Chris Dressel, two tight ends. Brad Baxter is the lone running back.
Collisions in the backfield for Tampa Bay.
For Ken O'Brien, going to the air for Burkett, and he's got the catch. And out of bounds in Tampa Bay territory. A gain of 18 yards, so that's the substitute, but Burkett's been there with Buffalo in the past. Wayne Haddix knocked him out of bounds.
The Jets made such a good move when they picked up Burkett from the Buffalo Bills. Look at him right there, using his hands to push off on Haddix. A veteran move. Of course, he's on the field because Toon is on the sideline, still suffering from nausea and dizziness from that hit he took last weekend.
Terrence Mathis comes in for the Jets as a third wide receiver. 1st and 10 on the 48 of Tampa Bay. And here is Baxter gets a big hole off the right side. And Brad Baxter gets close to another Jet first down. A fine run that time by a very versatile running back. And William Frizzell makes the stop for Tampa Bay.
Watch the double team at the top of the screen right there. Look at that. Bam! Oh, that hurts even from here as they try to blast him off the line. Woof.
Gain of 7, 2nd down and 3 for the Jets on the 41 of the Bucks. Two tight ends, and here is a rollout on the bootleg and the pass to Boyer, the tight end. Well executed and conceived play for the Jets, and a first down. Tony Covington makes the tackle.
Floyd Peters, and I say Peterson, that's what he was called this last week. Floyd Peters, an emotional leader of any defensive team, and he's always brought quality defense to any team he moved to.
First down on the 34 at Tampa Bay. And here's Blair Thomas cutting left. And fine pursuit by the Buccaneers secondary led by Wayne Haddix.
Great running backs know how to avoid tacklers. Watch Thomas change direction here. Gets away from one man. A straight arm right there on Haddix picks up the extra 2 yards. Great running backs also always fall forward. You saw him doing that there.
And he comes out of the game, and Freeman McNeil, the 11-year veteran, comes in. 2nd down and 6 on the 30-yard line of the Bucks. McNeil is playing the slot as a receiver on this down. And the slant pattern is incomplete. It was Burkett, the intended receiver.
There was some heat on that play on Kenny O'Brien. Broderick Thomas, coming from the left side defensively, simply flew around Eatman, and O'Brien released that pass a little early. Watch it here. O'Brien back. Watch the right side of your screen. Eatman. Well, we don't see it. There he is. Broderick Thomas showing up. But O'Brien could feel the heat. Unloaded that football a little early.
3rd down and 6 with 3:56 remaining in the first quarter. And a quick toss, and the pass is caught by Terrence Mathis inside the 5. Yards on the fade. O'Brien to Mathis, and a 1st and goal for the Jets.
Ken O'Brien is playing his best football in years. Look at the touch on this pass. Over the top, right here, and that's just perfectly thrown and nicely caught by Mathis. He has great speed, and he's the guy they go to with the double moves. He's one of those Smurfs.
And he beat the rookie, Tony Covington. So it's 1st and goal at the 4. Jets trail 3-0. O'Brien, and off the fingertips of Brad Baxter. Will bring up 2nd and goal.
Koslett calling his own plays. He scripts the first 13. Although in this situation, he'll be off the script. He'll be into goal line situation plays, which would be listed in a separate section of that game plan.
2nd and goal for the Jets on the 4. 6 and 10 a year ago, as were the Buccaneers. You see McCants helping in as well, and that will bring up 3rd and goal.
You can almost hear Floyd Peters up here as he sends the goal line defense onto the field. Koslett with one more play here. I mentioned that the Tampa Bay Bucks had trouble getting the 7s over the 3s. Koslett's team had the same problem. They want to punch it in. They don't want to have to settle for that field goal here.
Freeman McNeil is in the backfield on 3rd and goal. And the flip to McNeil. He gets in. Touchdown, Jets. His 37th touchdown of his 11th-year career, rushing. And the oldest player in the NFL, Pat Leahy, at age 40, will try to give the Jets a 7-3 lead. The punter, Louis Aguiar, will hold. And Leahy connects at 7-3.
A misdirection as Freeman McNeil steps to his left. The defense is not fooled, but look at this. McNeil makes them all miss and goes in for the touchdown.
This week he says, I love Floyd Peterson's defense.
Well, he knows the names a little bit better now, but after 3 days doesn't know them all yet.
Scores of other games as Aguiar gets set to kick off for the Jets. Hardy and Cobb, and this is going to be Robert Hardy returning for Tampa Bay. And the Jets with terrific coverage stops Hardy shy of the 20. And that was Eric McMillan, who lost his starting job. 2:08 remaining in the first quarter.
And wins and huddling on the field, the Jets defense. And if you're thinking at home, these defenses look a lot alike, you're right. They're playing basically the same defense. This guy plays his own defense. That's Dennis Byrd, outstanding young pass rusher. He's one of their hopes in green today.
1st and 10 on the 19. On the delay, Gary Anderson tries to cut inside and picks up 1 yard. Dennis Byrd makes the tackle, and for an update, let's check in with Greg Gumbel in New York. Greg?
Well, Dick, at Cleveland, a pass interference call against the Dallas Cowboys sets up this 1-yard touchdown run by Kevin Mack, who makes it to the corner and then participates in a few post-scoring activities with rookie linebacker Derek Brownlow. It's 7-3 Browns now in the second quarter, Dick.
All right, Greg, you can tell the regular season is underway.
You sure can.
2nd down and 9. Mike Brim is an extra defensive back for the Jets. Testaverde getting a rush. Byrd chases him. And finally, Testaverde skips out of bounds as Joe Kelly was coming after him at about the 25-yard line.
Scott Mercereau was coming on the stun on that play, and they were able to pick it up. He'll come from the center right there, go all the way around on the outside. But watch Testaverde. He'll use his speed and mobility here. Some excellent runs, especially during his second half of the year last year. He said Richard Williamson has told him, if you see the opening, go for it. That time he saw the pressure and went for it.
3rd down and 4. 4 wide receivers out of the shotgun for Vinny Testaverde. Here comes a blitz from the defensive secondary, and the pass is incomplete, intended for Mark Carrier. Covering on the play was Mike Brim.
The fact that the Jets have had trouble getting to the quarterback, just bringing 5, forces them at times to go to 6. That's a risk, but Pete Carroll's defense up to the task there, shut down the second drive.
Mark Royals will kick for the first time today, and Terrence Mathis, who returned to punt 98 yards last year to tie an NFL record. That was against Dallas, is back. It's a high snap. Royals gets off the kick. Not a good one. And the Jets are going to have the ball in Tampa Bay territory. Was the snapper, and that kick went only 22 yards. Will return. Well, not to be outdone by John Madden, we have bunting, but it's windy bunting here at Giant Stadium today because it is opening day.
It is opening day. I heard Terry Bradshaw talking about the fact that even the veterans are excited, and really this was always an exciting day for me because you'd made the roster, you were undefeated, you got to go home. Now that's exciting when you could do that. Now all of these players have to feel a sense of that, and especially on a beautiful day like today. Boy, it was hot yesterday and the day before, but this is a football day today.
Like someone pressed a button, said it's football season, and the temperatures went down into the 60s. First down on the 47 for the Jets in Tampa Bay territory. O'Brien to throw on first down, completes it to Rob Moore. He was wide open, and Moore picks up 15 yards. Ricky Reynolds on the stop. What a pickup he was in the supplemental draft last year.
Well, some people said the Jets didn't have a first-round pick this year. They sure did. They got him with that pick a year ago. He's had a year in the system. He's coming into his own as a great receiver. He is playing with a hamstring problem today. There is concern about how long he'll be able to go.
First down, Jets on the Bucs 32. Doesn't quite get back to the line of scrimmage thanks to Ray Seals, who's starting his first NFL game and one of the few players in the league who never went to college.
He said his friends and family brought a bus that came down from Syracuse. He's as excited. This is his first legitimate start. Played quite a few games, but boy, he's pumped up. Father Tom is a police officer. He said, got a lot of policemen. He said, got some teachers, high school teachers. He said, all my friends in the stands.
And he hopes to hold off Dexter Manley. That's the end of the first quarter here at Giant Stadium with the score. The Jets 7 and the Buccaneers 3.
Congratulations. And that's that.
Welcome back to Giant Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, along with Merlin Olsen. This is Dick Stockton. The Jets lead the Buccaneers 7-3. 2 long drives as both teams scored in the first quarter. And later today, for all of our audience except for the New York audience, the Minnesota Vikings open their season against the Chicago Bears. Pretty tough opener at Soldier Field.
Certainly. So I wonder what the Vikings are doing for defensive coaches. We got a lot of them here.
Floyd Peters and Pete Carroll. Second down and 12 on the Bucs 34. Ken O'Brien looking to throw, and his pass out of bounds. 2 receivers in the same neighborhood that time, including Blair Thomas.
This is the youngest Bucs team in the league. They're 3 years, and this man right here is going to bring them some leadership. Dexter Manley. Oh, we talked to him yesterday. So pumped up about having a chance, and Floyd Peters' defense didn't fit in the 3-4. Boy, you can see the nervousness. You see him stomping. He wants to get onto the field.
And this could be Manley's last chance, too, and he's well aware of that.
He understands that.
Third down and 12. Tony Covington, an extra back for the Buccaneers. O'Brien has nowhere to go. And he throws it away to Boyer, his tight end, and may get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be fourth down as Kevin Murphy dodged Boyer, and O'Brien had some pressure on him.
Sound like they were all in one of our microphones down there. One of the things they've asked Ken O'Brien to do is to get rid of that football. If he can't find the target, dump the ball. Don't take the sack. He did it there.
Fourth down, and Pat Leahy will try to stretch the Jet lead. A 49-yard attempt. 18 years kicking for the same team as an NFL first. Aguiar holds. It's long enough, but the kick is off to the right. Leahy looking for a flag, winds up on the turf, but it'll go as a missed field goal, and Tampa Bay will take over when we come back.
Getting a field goal out of a 69-yard 6-minute and 30-second drive, and then the Jets scoring and going over 6 minutes in 80 yards.
Peters has a voice like a foghorn. In fact, Michael Brim, who played for him in Minnesota, is now on the Jets roster, said, "I still hear his voice in my sleep. Brim, what are you doing out there?"
You know, he once worked at a prison in San Quentin. He started in tough territory.
He said, "You think these professional football players are tough?" Not a bad place to begin.
1st and 10 for Tampa Bay on their 32-yard line. Reggie Cobb and Robert Wilson are the running backs, starting from the 31, and a draw play to Cobb, who gets tripped up
And gets back to the line of scrimmage, and it was Bill Pickell, former L.A. or Raider, Plan B acquisition.
Plan B pickup. They got him in there for several reasons. First, he's big. They wanted to upgrade their size. And second, they wanted his experience with a winning team. Pickell is also coming home, was raised in this area, is excited about that.
2nd down and 11, so they lose a yard. To Cobb, and there's the tailback, switched from fullback. Reggie Cobb out from the University of Tennessee got a big hole off the left side and scampers 16 yards before Tony Stargell and Lonnie Young make the stop.
Reggie Cobb able to catch an opening, and he is most effective when he has room to run. Does not avoid well, but look at this. All kinds of room inside. The stunt went away from him. He blew it up inside for a big first down.
And a no huddle on 1st down for Testaverde. Looking up the middle, and the pass intended for Bruce Hill is incomplete. Lonnie Young covering on the play.
Jets defense today trying to take away the seam routes. This Tampa Bay team throws great seam routes, and Testaverde's an expert at it. Pete Carroll said, "We're going to try and work some 4 across. Not 3 deep, but 4 deep, to try and take those deep seams away from Testaverde." And that's what they had on that last down.
2nd down and 10 for the Buccaneers on their own 47-yard line. Gary Anderson checks back in. And they split him out as a receiver to the left. Testaverde pushed back. It incomplete, nearly intercepted downfield by Tony Stargell, and a good pass rush on that time by Darrell Davis.
Really important for a quarterback to be able to elude the rush. And the good news for the Jets, these are linemen after Testaverde. But watch this, Mercereau there, Davis is there, Bird is there, but Testaverde, with that speed, avoids it and dumps that football out of there.
Last 5 passes have been incomplete by Vinny, and it's 3rd down and 10 out of the shotgun.
Here's where we find out about that new confidence.
There's enough time, and his pass is caught. And this is the rookie, Lawrence Stasi from Florida State. In the game for the first time, gets open and picks up a Tampa Bay 1st down inside the 35. Good for 19 yards.
In the pecking order of receivers, the young rookie is last. But that's going to change. He is a dangerous receiver.
1st down for the Buccaneers on the Jet 34. Hill. And Hill will have another first down for Tampa Bay. James Hasty on the stop. Randall Cunningham was shaken up, and right now let's check in with Greg Gumbel in New York for more. Greg?
Well, Dick, at Green Bay, a big headache for new head coach Rick Kotite of the Eagles. Randall Cunningham hit by Bryce Paup right there. Suffers a sprained left knee on the first play of the second quarter, and he was wheeled off with a sprained knee. Jim McMahon now at quarterback for the Eagles, who lead at 3-0, Dick.
Greg, on first down, pass intended for Bruce Hill is deflected. So a tough blow for first-year head coach Rich Kotite, with Cunningham leaving the game in Green Bay. Have gone by in the second quarter. The Jets lead the Buccaneers 7-3. Second down and 10 on the Jet 22. Testaverde's pass in and out of the hands of Bruce Hill. And covering was cornerback Tony Stargell.
Tony Stargell on coverage.
Tony Stargell fought for a starting job with Michael Brim. Had a great game against Washington last week. They tested him about every way they could. He was equal to the task, was in good position on that play, but I think if Testaverde had put that ball in front of Hill, he still would have been able to catch it.
Third down and 10. 6 defensive backs, Odegaard and R.J. Coors check in for the Jets.
Jets have had some trouble on long yardage during this preseason.
Anderson to the top of your picture. Testaverde being chased by Mercereau and is run out of bounds at the 20, but that'll bring up fourth down for Tampa Bay.
One of the real tests of a defensive secondary is what they do when the play breaks down. When a quarterback can scramble out of there and get a little extra time. And look at the way they're sticking downfield. Look at the way those green defenders are glued to those white receivers. Testaverde had no choice. Had to go out of bounds.
Steve Christie, who connected on a 29-yarder. This will be from 38 yards with Mark Royal holding. He booms this kick through, and it is good. So Steve Christie with a pair of field goals to account for Tampa Bay scoring, and with 11:33 remaining in the first half, the Jet lead is 7-6. Beat them in the last game of the regular season, trying to gain some ground this year.
Dick, you sense an improvement in attitude and confidence from both of these teams.
Christie with a short end-over-end kick, and Boyer, the tight end, at the 19-yard line. And he's tackled by Gerald Nichols, and a penalty marker is down. We haven't had many penalties thus far. Referee today is Larry Nemmers.
Tampa Bay signaling that it's going to go against the Jets, which would move them back.
Invalid fair catch signal on the kickoff. It's a spot foul. 5 yards before the ball is gone.
An invalid fair catch is the ruling. Bruce Coslett says he did signal, and Bruce is hot under the collar on a cool day in New York.
I wonder if Boyer wasn't trying to get his hand up to block the sun out, which is legal, but he can't wave that one hand above his head. Left side of your screen, there's Boyer right there. Let's see. I think he just raised his hand. I don't think that looked like a fair catch signal to me, but the officials are very used to making that call, and a normal receiver probably wouldn't have done that. He doesn't go back there and catch it very often.
He'll start from the 14-yard line. I agree. I didn't see much of a signal from Boyer. Brad Baxter making Blair Thomas.
Could there be such a thing as an inadvertent fair catch signal?
You either do it or you don't, but if I'm Boyer, I'm a tight end. I said, what a chance here. Maybe I can run with it. Who knows how far I'll get.
2nd and 5 on the 19.
Gain of 5 that time by Blair Thomas. It'll be 2nd down and 5 on the Jets 19. And he brings it out for the 1st down, close to the 30-yard line. William Frizzell on the stop. So this is what they wanted from Blair Thomas when they drafted him number 1 a year ago.
You're seeing the excitement of a powerful young running back with natural avoid instincts. He's learning how to use those tools more and more effectively. The one thing I'd like to see him do more, Dick, is to run through those arm tackles a little bit more. I think when he finally learns to do that at the end of the run, he is going to be a hellacious back.
Johnny Hector replaces him in the lineup. And a play fake by O'Brien, who gets away with it and hits Boyer, who had his back to the play.
Mark Boyer slipped, fell down. He's had a couple of embarrassing plays almost back-to-back.
And it was Ray Seals who put on a great rush. Well, tomorrow on CBS Sports, our coverage continues of the U.S. Open Tennis Championships with live 4th-round action. And how about Jimmy Connors, who will turn 39 tomorrow, has found the fountain of youth where he loves it out at Flushing Meadow. He'll go against Aaron Krickstein. That'll be an outstanding match coming up tomorrow from the National Tennis Center in Flushing Meadow, New York. 2nd down and 10 on the 28. Here's Thomas, and Blair Thomas is stopped at the 30-yard line, a gain of only 2. And tough run defense that time by Tampa Bay, including Broderick Thomas and Ray Seals.
Dick, when Mike Haight went down, had a cartilage trimmed in his knee, arthroscopic surgery, on IR, will be out 4 weeks. They had to move Dave Cadigan from his right guard position over to left guard. A lot of concern because Cadigan, coming back from reconstructive knee surgery, has played very well in there today, doing an excellent job at that left guard position.
3rd down and 8. Bryant's pass is caught by Terrence Mathis. Let's see if he got to the sticks. It'll be close. Tony Covington knocked him out of bounds. The crowd groans because they feel that maybe the spot won't get up to the point.
The official right on top of it, and Koslett, who was there too, is saying, hey, come on, they didn't give me a good spot here. This is one of the places that instant replay can get involved. They can look at the spot, and I'm sure they will review that play. Let's review it. O'Brien is going to get pressured late and having time to throw it. Let's see, where is the football? Now it's where the ball goes out, not where the feet go out. Unfortunately, that angle is not going to tell us a lot, but you can see the 1st down marker. I think maybe from that look, he did not get a good spot.
They are short by that much.
It was hard to tell with the marker moving, and from that angle, instant replay must have concrete proof, and that angle was not good. You couldn't really judge it from there.
So with 4th and less than 1, the Jets are forced to kick, and Louis Aguiar, who kicked for Barcelona of the World League. Back deep is Willie Drury for Tampa Bay.
Said he had great fun over there, but with his name and his looks, he said everybody expected him to speak Spanish. He said, my mom speaks fluent Spanish. He said, I had to say, no habla español.
He played at Utah State.
All right.
I had to get that in.
Thank you, Dick.
A line drive kick. Drury with a chance to return it from the 19. And the Jets again cover well, as they have throughout this game. Mike Grimm after a 7-yard return. So with 8:55 remaining in the 1st half, Dexter is still waiting for his chance. Will return. And all the butterflies that go with it. The Jets lead the Bucs 7-6 with just under 9 minutes to go in the half.
Your strength starts up front. Paul Gruber, the best of a very much improved offensive line. He's the leader.
First and 10 for the Bucks on their 28. And a play fake and a sack. Marvin Washington in his first NFL start and a loss of 8 yards.
Washington will come off your left side here. Nobody home right there. The back misses him, and he just streaks in. He's only played one game in the preseason, had 3 freak injuries that kept him out of there. That was Robert Wilson, the fullback, who missed the block on him.
Second down and 18. Back to the 21-yard line. Testaverde's pass is caught by Dawsey, and a penalty marker down behind the line of scrimmage. Stargell makes the play on the Florida State rookie, and this will go against Tampa Bay.
Toughest position in the offensive line, left tackle. You're out there all alone. Jeff Lageman trying to get outside of Paul Gruber. He sticks and glues so well.
Holding.
And of course, there's the catch there. Unfortunately, someone other than Gruber, Ian Beckles, was holding on that last play. So it's going to march back in the other direction.
So a sack and a penalty, and waiting in the wings is Charles Mccray, who was the 7th pick in the draft from Tennessee, who is earmarked to be a right tackle before long and replace Rob Taylor.
A giant. Boy, they will have a couple of bookends when they get him into that lineup.
And a whistle. 8:09 remaining. And a timeout has been called by the New York Jets. They've used their first. Backed up to their own 11-yard line, and when we resume, it'll be second down and 27.
In this long yardage situation, James Hasty would expect to get some action. We haven't heard his name much today. The reason they're not going his direction. This is one of the finest young cornerbacks in the NFL. Tampa Bay has avoided him all afternoon.
4 wide receivers. Testaverde out of the shotgun on second down. And the pass caught by Drury. Making the hit was Stargell, just beyond the 20-yard line. Gain of 10 yards. They've got a long way to go, however.
Back on the line of scrimmage, we talked about Paul Gruber. The excellent techniques he brings. Look how quickly he's in position. Doesn't overextend those hands. Stick and glue right there. You know, that's like a vacuum cleaner. You never get away.
Third down and 17. The Bucks get out of real danger on the last one. Testaverde finds a man and overthrows him. He was going for Lawrence Dawsey, the rookie, and that will bring up 4th down.
Testaverde's mobility has made a big difference here in this first half. A number of occasions. Pressure is on. He eludes the rush, still gets the pass off. Put a little too much zip on that one. It was not catchable, but Testaverde's showing you why everyone has had such high hopes. Hopefully, it's going to be more than hopes here in this year.
Mark Royals will kick. And back deep for the Jets is Terrence Mathis. Kick is nearly blocked, and a fine punt. Mathis doesn't call for the fair catch,
yes,
and he's dropped at the 45. Did he?
He called.
Well, then it's going to be a penalty against the Buccaneers. Tony Covington.
A rookie mistake. Covington must have been looking up to spot that punt, and he must have just missed the fair catch call. You see him shaking his head saying, hey, I didn't see the call. But watch it right here. The call was made prior to that, and Covington in to pop him and take him down. The automatic penalty.
Well, if Covington missed it, that makes 2 of us.
Late hit after the catch. First down.
Oh, they're saying late hit after the catch?
He did not call for the fair catch. And I wonder about the late hit call.
Well, I do too. Now, let's see. Looking for the back. There it is.
There it is. Yeah.
There's the call right there. It was well before the catch, but that was a legal call. One hand over the head and waving.
So So the penalty will move the ball into Tampa Bay territory.
To the Jets at the Tampa Bay 39.
To the 39-yard line. Covington.
Great field position for the Jets. Let's see if they can take advantage of it.
On the 39 of Tampa Bay. Ken O'Brien. Brad Baxter. Power back. Covington and Frizzell on the stop, and a good gain on first down, a pickup of 6.
Frizzell picked up in Plan B this last fall and has made an excellent addition. He and Brim, the two best of those Plan B defensive backs, both highly sought. Frizzell deciding to go to Tampa Bay, although Brim was pursued by Tampa Bay as well.
Second down and 4 on the Tampa Bay 33. Blair Thomas. And an extra cut inside might have been enough to give him enough yardage for the first down. Tim Newton and Harry Hamilton.
Jim Sweeney doing a nice job from his center position on Tim Newton, keeping locked up with him, driving him off the ball. Sweeney, by the way, doing double duty on the line. Watch him in the middle, number 53. Look at him as he gets into his man. Look at his legs. They just keep moving and moving, and Newton disappears off the screen. Newton was there to get a piece of the tackle, but way downfield.
Notice that Keith McCants missed a tackle on Thomas, who now has gained 28 yards on 7 carries. And a first down on the Bucs 27 for the Jets. Thomas trying to go outside. Great cut by Blair Thomas and close to another Jet first down. It was Seals followed by Keith McCants, and a great bit of running by Blair Thomas.
You can't teach that little body shake out there, and that's what the great receivers have. At the end of this run, watch the way Blair Thomas avoids the tacklers to pick up the extra yardage. Look at this. Just a little shake outside right there. Number 99, Eugene Marv, left in the dust, and Thomas got an extra 6 yards.
Second down and 2 for the Jets with 5:20 remaining in the first half. They lead 7-6 over Tampa Bay. Baxter. He'll have a first down to the 15.
Nichols was picked up by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a longtime Jets defensive lineman. There was real concern for the New York Jets about their calls. He knew all of the calls made by the offensive linemen. So Jim Sweeney, as he goes to the line, has had to make 2 different calls and also is making dummy calls so that the Tampa Bay Bucs can't get the jump on knowing whether it's run or pass.
First down, the Jets on the 15. O'Brien going for the end zone, and his receiver fell down. Rob Moore slipped, but the pass was away anyway, and Ricky Reynolds was covering.
It was high, but you saw Moore looking like he maybe was reaching for something he didn't have. We mentioned that hamstring problem. I'll tell you that the Jets are lucky about one thing. This cooler weather today has really helped them. Short of wide receivers, they don't have to rotate those wide receivers as much as they ordinarily would on a hot and humid day.
Second down and 10. O'Brien will try the air again. This time he goes short. And out of the backfield and pick up just a couple of yards that time.
Broderick Thomas there on top of him along with Keith McCants.
Brad Baxter, the receiver there. Baxter has gained 30 yards rushing already.
Broderick Thomas is not a weightlifter. And I tell you, one of the things that happened when Manley got in here, Dexter Manley went into the weight room, put on 425 pounds, pushed it 5 times, turned to Broderick Thomas and said, "You want to be a great player? Upper body strength."
And Manley has come in the game for the first time. He has checked in now on 3rd down and 8. And it's a play action pass. side, and covering was Ricky Reynolds. And it'll be 4th down. But the story for the Tampa Bay followers is that Dexter Manley finally makes his Tampa Bay debut here with 3:30 remaining in the first half.
Well, Manley didn't get off the line of scrimmage, but McCants did. He was right in the face of O'Brien, who threw that ball high. But Manley has to be happy anyway.
He'll be happier if he gets one thing, right?
Yeah.
The sack. Pat Leahy is in to try a 30-yard field goal. He's missed one from 49 yards, and Aguiar will be holding for him. Is good, and as a result of that 30-yard field goal, Pat Leahy becomes the 6th all-time scorer in NFL history. Can you imagine? He's never been to the Pro Bowl despite kicking so consistently for 18 years.
Had what could have been a Pro Bowl season this year, but young Christie out of Tampa Bay was better.
So it's now 10-6 in favor of the Jets with 3:29 remaining in the first half. And coming up on the NFL Today Dockers halftime report, Greg and Terry with all the scores, highlights, and latest information. And Tim Ryan will have an update on the U.S. Open Tennis Championships coming up at halftime.
A well-played ball game so far by both of these teams. We expected the Tampa Bay Bucks to come out here and throw the football. They have done that. We expected the Jets to come out and run it. They have done that. Both teams pretty much able to concentrate on the areas that they felt confident in. The defense is not quite as impressive as they would like to be so far in this game. The Jets able to get that one big touchdown on that opening drive. That's the difference so far.
And we have not had any turnovers, which, as usual, are the telling statistic in every game. Aguiar, who's kicking off, and by the way, his kicking off will give Leahy a rest from those chores this year, and a short kick.
Ooh, that's not a good one.
And Hall, the tight end, receives it and is dropped at about the 30-yard line. Making the tackle for the Jets is Brian Washington. Let's take a step back and look at the AFC East as they finished a year ago. The Jets at 6-10 in Bruce Coslett's first year as head coach after coming over from Cincinnati.
The strength of the division would appear to be in the same hands as Buffalo and Miami, although Miami injured. They're going to have a hard time getting out of the blocks. The Jets hope they can finish their games better this year.
First down for the Bucks on their 30-yard line with 3:23 remaining in the half. First back through is Robert Wilson. Picks up a little more than 2 yards.
Because these teams know each other's defense, they both play the same style of defense so well, they know how to attack the defense. And on that last play, you saw them move the tight end over. They force a flip-flop, which is awkward when you're doing it at the line of scrimmage. They're hoping they can get some confusion. You'll see the Jets do that when they're on offense as well.
Second down and 8. Rookie Mark Gunn has replaced Marvin Washington up front for the Jets.
There's the flip-flop again. You see them shifting.
And on the draw, Gary Anderson finds an opening, and he'll bring it out. Enough for the first down to the 40-yard line. Making the tackle, Kyle Clifton, who's made a bunch of them, and Mike Brim.
You'll see all of the moving back and forth by the Jets offensive line. Testaverde's got to watch this, but he knows where they're going to end up. They're simply changing because Testaverde moved his tight end over. And Bird, the Eagle tackle, has to move over. The linebackers flip-flop. And, of course, the opening spot right up the middle. And you put Gary Anderson into space, he's going to hurt you.
First down for the Buccaneers on their 40. Testaverde loops it high for Hill. And the pass is incomplete. Well covered downfield by James Hasty, and that is the first time that we've mentioned his name in a play.
Well, and we mentioned it in conjunction with very tight coverage.
Well, we have 2 minutes to go in the first half. The 2-minute warning is here, and we'll come back to Giant Stadium in a moment.
still. And what was he looking for? He said he watches for the shoulders to come up and the arms to go down. He knows then that the ball is arriving. That one bounced off the shoulder, his shoulder.
So we've had our 2-minute warning, 1:57 remaining in the first half. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Bucs on their 40-yard line. Testaverde completes the pass to Hill. And Bruce Hill has the first down. See where they spotted. It's in Jet territory at the 48. That time Tony Stargell was defending, and a pickup of 12.
Robert Wilson down to pop somebody right at the end of that play. Young rookie feeling his oats. He better be a little careful coming in late on the play like that.
First down on the 48. Testaverde with a lot of time. Receivers covered. He's got one there. And a completion to the 35-yard line. Mark Carrier finally got open, and it'll be another Tampa Bay first down. So the hurry-up offense is in progress.
Talking to the Buccaneers, one of the things they're unanimous about, Testaverde's confidence level.
Under a minute to go. The Bucs have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. To the air again goes Testaverde, and he overthrows Lawrence Dawsey. That'll stop the clock. Lonnie Young defending downfield.
Pete Carroll wondering exactly what should be called here. His concern again, Testaverde has had time to throw the football. And the more rushes you have, the more times you force those defensive linemen to push those big offensive linemen back, the more difficult it becomes for them. They're tired right now.
The Bucs put Gary Anderson at the top of your picture as a receiver on 2nd and 10. And Testaverde finds Anderson, and he's got the first down. Brian Washington came up to make the tackle and a gain of 11 yards.
What a great move at the end of that play by Anderson as he leans to the outside and then rolled back inside. A double move almost.
And a timeout called by Tampa Bay. They have 2 remaining, but they're already in field goal range, trailing 10-6, just inside the 25-yard line. Buccaneers with a tougher schedule this year. Last year they had the 5th place slate when they went 6-10, and now they have 7 games against playoff teams. Last year, of course, Anderson was the big threat, and perhaps they want to take some of the burden off of him because he tired as the season went on.
Well, Gary Anderson contended that he could be the workhorse back, that he could carry it 25 times a game. Look what happened as they gave him his opportunity early. Look how his carries declined, his productivity declined. He is a spot back, a small back that's got to be used and then rested, and used and rested.
And that's why they moved Reggie Cobb from fullback to tailback to take some of the pressure off. 1st and 10 Bucs on the Jet 24. Testaverde going up, and Hasty and his man Bruce Hill covered well.
Forget it, Vinny. You're not going to get Hasty. Hasty's all over that one at the end, although he did have some help. You're not going to get it in there. You might as well go back and look on the other side.
Well, you're looking at the face of a former Jets fan when he grew up in Elmont, New York. Actually born in Brooklyn, as was Ken O'Brien. And he was a big fan, particularly of Emerson Boozer, the old fullback.
Said he's still got a jersey with Boozer's number on it.
2nd down and 10. Drills it up the middle, going for his tight end, Ron Hall. And Lonnie Young was covering. Lonnie Young is playing a fine game, and no wonder that the veteran from Phoenix won that free safety position. He's been all over the defenders today.
You have to wonder how much talent the Phoenix Cardinals have in their secondary that they can let a Leonard Smith get away and play as well as he has for Buffalo, and now Lonnie Young get away. A 6-year starter in Phoenix. He has proven his worth very quickly here in New York.
4 wide receivers for Testaverde on 3rd and 10. All at the Jet 24. He's in trouble. He gets away. And is out of bounds inside the 20 by James Hasty. But a big alert play by Testaverde.
And almost a chance for us to see the new in the grass rule. Testaverde, with his strength, will benefit from that rule.
More important, Testaverde continued to give the Bucks field goal range here. He might have been out of it had been sacked by Darrell Davis.
Let's look and see where he was when they initially got a chance at him right here. If he goes down to the first shot right there, he would have been back on the 35-yard line, and that would indeed have been well over 50 yards for the field goal.
A 37-yard attempt by Christie. No good. He hooked it. So all that hustle by Vinny Testaverde goes for naught as Steve Christie misses a 37-yard field goal, and the score remains 10-6 in favor of the Jets.
Christie, who had been perfect up to this point, finally blows one, and from well inside of his range. They say he has kicked them from 66, 67 yards in practice. Watch this. That ball just hooking across. You hit that ball well, and it's like a good golf shot. You get through it cleanly, it turns over on you.
Jets take over, first down on their 20. And a mix-up in the backfield, and Brad Baxter. I tell you, Bruce Coslin had to be holding his breath because that looked like a fumble possibility in the Jet deep territory.
What happened to the Jets last week against the Skins? Fumbled with seconds left to go in the fourth quarter, almost lost the game.
And that'll do it for the first half. So the difference, the touchdown by Freeman McNeil. Otherwise, field goals. 2 by Christie in a 10-6 lead for the New York Jets.
Comfortable first half, I think, for both teams. There will not be a lot of adjusting to do. You've always got some teaching to do in that locker room. But when things are not working, you really have to adjust.
That's the end of the first half with the Jets leading the Bucks 10-6.